everyone. For my policy analysis presentation, I'm interviewing Norris Blossom, the president of ASMSU, our student government here at Montana State. For those who don't know, ASMSU is responsible for advising the university on student issues and managing student programs and has an annual budget of over $1 million. So without further ado, here's my interview. Hello everyone. Today I am interviewing Norris Blossom, ASMSU student president. So first, Norris, who are you and what do you do at ASMSU?
My name is Norris Blossom. I'm a junior here at Montana State studying industrial engineering. I'm the president of the Associated Students of Montana State University. I like to think of my job as kind of two parts. The first part is chatting with students and taking the ideas and wants and needs that they want and kind of translating that to the administration of MSU that can make tangible change at the university to help students enjoy their experience and have the university catered towards students. And then the second part of my job is to manage and run the Office of Student Engagement, which is essentially about 70 student employees that run all of our student engagement programs and services that we offer to students that are paid for by student fees. So it keeps me busy.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that. So today we're going to talk a little about kind of climate change and sustainability. So what threat does climate change pose to MSU and the way of life of MSU students?
Absolutely. I think like one thing that we've started to see a lot of in the past few years is just like the shifting of seasons. So in Montana, there used to be like winter would start earlier and end earlier, and now that's kind of all shifting. And obviously a big reason that students come to Montana State is for the outdoors. And so as kind of that all shifts, the time of year and just the level of accessibility to outdoors really changes a lot, especially with like increased fire seasons in Montana and some more harsh like flooding and drought seasons. It definitely has a huge impact on people's ability to not only recreate, but like for people that have asthma or any other lung condition in the summer with these intense fire seasons, that also is becoming a bigger issue for them. Big impact on students and just people of Montana for sure.
Totally. So what kind of actions has ASMSU taken to address climate change and promote sustainability, and kind of what kind of power do you guys have to do things here?
Great question. I think this year from our student senate, there's been a big movement kind of push towards sustainability. Specifically, a few things that have been outlined have been motivating Montana State University to stop using single-use plastics. And this one has actually had some pretty great results. Almost immediately, the MSU bookstore stopped using their plastic bags for giving items to people. So like that is one way that plastic has decreased. President Cruzado right now is kind of working with the team to see how that can be integrated more across the universities, because a lot of times, like if you go to a ton of events, there's plastic water bottles everywhere. So that's like one area specifically that's kind of on the table to see how that could possibly be decreased in the near future. Beyond that, the ASMSU has started working with the Alumni Foundation to form a divestment working group, which essentially is composed of both students from ASMSU and then also the kind of financially oriented people at the MSU Alumni Foundation to take a good look at how the endowment for MSU is currently invested and see if there's any way to kind of start directionally orienting our investments away from the fossil fuel industry to support companies that are a little bit more eco-friendly. So those have been two successes. I'm trying to think of what else. I guess the students of ASMSU also supported the Montana State University Climate Action Plan, which is really critical because for approval for stuff like that, a lot of times it matters that the students are on board, and so that was kind of a big plus for that as well. Did that answer your question? Is there more to that question that I needed
Yeah,
to?
totally. That was awesome, and it's really great to hear about all the actions ASMSU is taking.
Yeah.
So how much success have you had in implementing these policies, and what more do you think ASMSU could do?
Yeah. I think like the successes again is like the implementation of some of the single-use plastics. That's been really huge. Both like internally, we as an office need to improve that, but I think that's like already having some tangible effects outside of our office. And then that working group with the Alumni Foundation, I think is also like a really huge stepping point. One thing that is a little difficult about this is I think there's a really strong consensus among students that like this is a big priority for us, but there's less of a consensus about what is the right way to solve that. And so that's kind of a hurdle that we run into sometimes, is like kind of competing ideas for how do we accomplish this. And so, especially when an idea comes around that people all around the board really reside with, that is really powerful in making some change. So yeah, and then I think, like, what more can we do? I think in the upcoming years, a big thing that's going to be a kind of a dynamic part of Montana State University is how getting to campus, moving around while you're on campus, and kind of the whole scene around parking at Montana State University is on the table right now. And so I think if we find a good way to, provide bike lanes on campus, provide parking for bikes on campus, and provide some type of public or rideshare transportation from people's residencies to campus, then we can decrease our own, emissions that we create from driving around. And I think that that's like sort of how the university is shifting right now. In the administration's opinion, is that we, should be considering how we as a university can be a more sustainable, environmentally friendly campus. And a lot of that stems from how we travel. So as students finding ways to achieve that more sustainable transportation methods, but also like balancing that with, people come to Montana State because they want to get into the mountains. And how are they going to get into the mountains without having a car so that they can drive up there? So there's a big challenge there. Like, how do you accomplish both of those? And I think in the coming year or two, that's going to be a huge topic to figure out. So I'm excited for next year's team to figure that out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking today, Norris. And yeah, best of luck in implementing all of this.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tommy. Have a good one.
Thank you. So now comes my alternative policy analysis. I think generally ASMSU and the university have been doing a pretty good job on climate policies on campus. However, one area that seems to be a point of contention is how specific the university is going to be with these kind of things. So right now we have climate targets and goals, and ASMSU has really pushed for those, but we don't have clear ways to achieve them. And President Cruzado actually requested the climate plan for campus be less specific. So I think one alternative could be to pursue more detailed climate policies in a more comprehensive process that includes everyone on campus. So if we reached out more to students and faculty to incorporate them into planning and developed a comprehensive plan that included strategies for every branch of the university and incremental targets along the way, our process for getting to net zero will be more fair, equitable, and sustainable. And I think ASMSU could really work on that climate plan and also push for Montana Hall to create one of those. And yeah, that will result in a much smoother path to net zero. So thank you all for watching and have a nice day.